All right, this video is being done for Goodwin Racing. They're great guys, I love them. They want to be able to explain to Ohlin, the maker of the shock, that there's a manufacturing defect. And that defect, which will be presented in this video, is that you should be able to adjust from the here to 320 millimeters. Now you can't on one of the shocks. One of these shocks is 335 millimeters and it cannot be adjusted. It doesn't come that way. There's no way you can turn this tube so it becomes 320. So the only option is to shorten this distance from here to here, the height adjuster to the center point, to be 49 millimeters. Because one of the shocks works out perfectly. It's 320 millimeters here, it's 64 millimeters here. It ends up doing a ride height of 26 inches on the rear tire. The other side, if I put the defective or manufactured poorly, it's a great shock, it's not broken, that only goes to 335. Here, you have to, if I put that on, I have to subtract 15 millimeters to get to 320. The only way I can subtract 15 millimeters is to shorten this distance between the height adjuster and the center point by 15 millimeters, which makes it approximately 49 millimeters. That brings the total length of the one shock that's 335 millimeters to 320. And that ends up that the other side, which now has the flawed shock, it's now at 26 inches for the ride height. The problem is, and I sent a picture to Goodwin Racing, is if you see this never loosen the lock nut, well, I had to loosen it because obviously this distance was 335. Well, there is a machining mark that stops this so that it won't go, you can't bring it shorter. I, of course, retightened it. I only loosened it like a quarter of an inch to find it, but you can't get this tube here to screw up on this threaded area because there is a machine mark. It exists on both of them. So now we're going to go out to the garage and I'll point out some of these issues. Let's get a tape measure. Oh, where did I put the tape measure? Well, I'll bring this with me. It's always helpful to be able to show it. Sorry, this is a little awkward. I normally don't spend my time making videos on discrepancies between the lengths of Ohlin shocks, but I understand the need for it. I get why it's being done. I'll be right back. We're underneath the car, and I'm going to be measuring, well, let me show you. I'm going to be measuring this distance from here to the height adjuster. It is supposed to be 64 millimeters. And we'll come back and we'll look. And guess what it is? It's 64 millimeters. Now, given that the side I'm about to show you was 335, in order to get it to 320, I had to subtract 15 millimeters approximately from the height adjuster part. So I'll show you that part. And if you look at this, voila. Try to get it in there. It's a little hard to do sometimes, but it is been 15 millimeters approximately has been subtracted from the 64 that's normally supposed to be from this spot here down to the center line here. And that was required because the shock can't be reduced to 320 without subtracting 15 millimeters from this spot, because it isn't 320 here, it's 335 on this side. Now, we'll take a look at the height. Notice that this is 26 inches, which is the side which I had to take 15 millimeters off the height adjustment. And then come over here And we'll do the same thing. And it is 26 inches. So there is a defect in the construction of the shock on this side. I've got a picture, a still photo of it in the video, where this tube cannot be reduced so that it's 320 millimeters from here to the top without taking 15 millimeters off here. And what that does is it reduces my adjustability. I have about 49-50 millimeters left here, and I have 64 here. So this side has more adjustability than the shock that wasn't well done. You notice there's only a few number of threads left. So if I wanted to lower this thing another inch, well, I can't do it because I've only got this much thread left. But I can do it over here because I've got a good inch worth of adjustability left. And that's simply because of the defect up here. And you'll see a still photo showing that. I hope this all helps. Sorry for any chaos in filming this, but it's a little hard to do by yourself. Talk to you later. Bye.